This month we're taking a trip into the romantic Middle East, and the jewel in the crown is this superb, and I really mean it, chicken pie from Morocco. Now let me show you how easy it is to create this masterpiece. We start with chicken thighs, and we've used 8 chicken thighs for this recipe because the recipe serves 8 people. Put them skin side down. And to get the flavor of the Middle East, we've got a beautiful flavor, a mixture here of cinnamon, cumin, and turmeric. And we sprinkle this on the meaty side of the chicken. Oh, the flavor is superb. And then some chicken stock, which we pour in gently. Don't remove the spices on top of the chicken. Just pour the stock in wherever you've got a little hole. And 1 cup is enough. But the big trick here, when you're cooking these chicken thighs, is please put the heat of the stove as low as humanly possible, so that it's a slow simmer for at least an hour. Now, we've got some chicken that we've already cooked and flaked. I just want to show you, I've left one breast out. Now, when the chicken is cooked, then what you do is you turn it over so that you have the meaty side down in the stock so that it can reabsorb the stock again. Now we take the chicken out of the stock, we discard the skin, and then we shred the chicken into long, thin, meaty pieces. Now this beautiful stock that we've got here, you do want to use every bit of it. So simply enough, you get rid of the fat. Double piece of kitchen paper, and let me turn it this way. And you can see there's the fat. And then you just simply discard that fat. Now here we've got some fantastic chicken stock. Right, now once we've blotted the fat off, then we just need to thicken that stock ever so slightly. But you don't need to cook it at this stage. Just mix a little bit of our white sauce powder. I've used about 2 heaped teaspoons. And pour that into the stock. The chicken breast that we've just done now, minus the skin and all the other bits, can go in there. The rest of the chicken goes in. Oh, this looks nice. And you can see there's a nice liquid bed that'll absorb into the chicken. Now Janet browned these onions for us, and she did it under a piece of greaseproof paper like we always do. And this is exactly how they should look. They should be soft and golden, and they are completely aromatic. One of the worst sins, cookery sins in my book, is when people do not brown onions properly, and you don't get that lovely caramelized flavor. You only get the crunch of half raw onions. Never a good call. So the onions go in, and stir this lot together. Shoo, this looks nice, eh? And then, according to our Middle Eastern recipe, we are now adding some feta cheese, which we've crumbled up. And for this recipe, I've used the softer Danish feta. It's not quite so salty, and it's not so dry. Feta goes in, and we've hard-boiled and roughly chopped 3 eggs. By the way, the onions have been seasoned with some green onion seasoning before we cooked it up. And now we're adding the healthy touch. Some fresh coriander, 1/4 cup. And something that I've always loved, and that they use a ton of in the Middle East is fresh parsley. Mint is another herb that is often used. And you know, the medicinal value of herbs and spices is so unbelievable that it's actually like going on a health hydro to eat one of these dishes. So there's the filling, ready made. The one thing you don't have to make is the phyllo pastry. That we just buy in the supermarket in a box, but please make sure you buy it in a supermarket with a regular turnover, because old phyllo pastry starts getting very, very brittle, and it's a nightmare to try and work with. Just unroll this pastry. Looks good. And we've got some melted butter here. Now you can use olive oil if you prefer, but I'm such a sucker for butter. I just love it. So what we do now is we take that sheet and you lift it into the dish that you're going to bake the pie in, and just softly sort of lever it in. Now you turn the dish slightly this way or the other way, it doesn't matter, as long as you turn the dish, so that when you put the next one down, you're going to get star points forming around the edge of the dish. So the next one we put down from the same position, but now you can see this point is a little bit away from that point. So we carry on turning the dish, putting the pastry in, turning the dish, and we do that with 5 sheets of phyllo. Now while I'm leaving this phyllo pastry here, just to make sure it doesn't dry out, just wet 1/2 of your cloth, fold it double and squeeze it so that you've now got a slightly damp cloth, and then you just cover the phyllo with that while you're now carrying on working with the filling. So the 5 sheets of phyllo is in the pie dish. And you put the filling in. So you spread the filling out evenly in the dish. And now the artichokes. Artichokes grow beautifully in the Middle East simply because it's so hot and dry. We should be growing a lot more artichokes in the Karoo. Now one of them we kept whole and we positioned that right in the middle. The rest we cut into quarters and we're just going to spread it out. We just need to gently fold these sheets back onto the filling. There you are, sweetheart. Just tuck them in nicely. Now the next one, pick up, and now we need to grab this phyllo in the middle and put it on the pie. That's great. That's fine. Leave it like that so that we get a bit of a pyramid in the middle. Once again, Janet's going to hold it in the middle. Then these little points we can just tuck in lightly. You know, to try and do it too perfect. It must almost be this kind of draping of silk, if you know what I mean. So this goes in the oven for about half an hour, 45 minutes. If you find that through the baking the top becomes a little bit brown, then just cover it lightly with foil or with baking paper, because what you're aiming at is for this top to be golden when it comes out of the oven. Looks good, but let us make it look expensive. And the way to do this is edible gold dust that you can buy in the cake shops. Let's give it that over the top Middle Eastern touch. Believe me, your friends can only think that this is the most expensive pie they've ever eaten, Bon appetit.